So I want to bring in my expert panel. We want to debate it, starting with Stacey Honowitz. Do you think that what happened today might be somehow connected to this outrageous interview that she gave yesterday where she says, I want to die? Stacey.
Well, absolutely, Jane. I mean, you know, when you have somebody that walks out of a first-degree murder conviction and is poised enough to sit down and give an interview, and then she says she wants to die, I'm sure she's at odds with her attorney. So there could be a myriad of reasons why nothing happened today. We don't know if she's on terms with them. We don't know if there was a conflict because she went on and she stated that against their advice. You don't know if she's on suicide watch, and so they're feeling that maybe her competency level today is not good. So there's so many reasons that could go into why it didn't happen. If mentally they don't think she's there, you can't sit through an aggravation phase.
All right, Janet Johnson for the defense.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good point, Stacey, but if that was what was going on, if they thought they wanted to suggest that she was incompetent and she couldn't proceed, they would have told the judge in advance. They wouldn't have everybody on standby, and I think it's something that blew up right before court, and I think that the lawyers finally said, look, we can't control you. Are you going to do what we want, or are you going to go rogue again? And I think she said, I'm going to do what I want. I'm running the show, and either they got out or she fired them.
Okay, let me say this. The medical examiner, Dr. Kevin Horn, was supposed to testify today because he's the one who's going to make the case for cruelty. The 29 stab wounds, the throat slit ear to ear, the shot in the face. Let's listen to the medical examiner, Dr. Kevin Horn.
Well, depending on the position of the body, you may have significant internal bleeding. Or if the person is leaning forward, they may bleed outside of the body because there is a track leading from that vessel outside. But this is a major vessel. It's not going to bleed as fast as an artery, but it will bleed a considerable amount.
Now, these three ladies were up on the 5th floor. They are regular trial watchers. Susie, you happened to run into Dr. Kevin Horn, the medical examiner, right when all of this chaos and confusion was occurring. What did he tell you? What happened?
Well, I saw him heading for the elevator, and we have a mutual friend. I wanted to introduce myself. And I asked him if he was testifying today, and he said, no, not today, and he waved his folder at me. He said something happened in the courtroom.
Did he seem surprised or shocked?
Very surprised, very shocked.
So he wasn't expecting. So the prosecution, it doesn't seem like, was expecting this. Beth Karras, you have just joined us. You've been up there in court. You've got some brand new information. I don't even know what it is. Tell us, what do you have to answer the mystery of why we didn't begin the crucial aggravation phase today?
Well, I have some of the story from a reliable source close to the case that today's reason is sealed. Right? We do not know the reason for today, and tomorrow was always going to be dark. But Dr. Horn, the key witness for the aggravation phase, is unavailable next Monday and Tuesday. So that's why it will start Wednesday morning here, 10 o'clock here, 1 o'clock Eastern, because Dr. Horn had a scheduling problem. So, I mean, we don't know the reason for today. There were some hearings, ex parte hearings today. So that
means emergency.
Yeah, well, that's a one-sided hearing. That's the defense and Jodi Arias with the judge alone. Right?
Oh,
so, and
okay,
no one's
that's significant.
Yeah, right. And so, I mean, they happen periodically. But then jurors, this is unsealed part of the chamber's hearing, jurors were brought in one by one, and they were told that there was a scheduling issue. And
it's more than a scheduling issue, because the hearing, the aggravation phase, the crucial aggravation phase that will help determine whether or not Jodi Arias is put to death was supposed to start today. Your scheduling issue, you're talking about the medical examiner, who we just heard from Susie was here ready to testify. Okay, he can't come back Monday and Tuesday. That's why we're starting Wednesday. But it doesn't explain why we didn't start today. What the big question mark, the big mystery of why this hearing was postponed today.
You are right. We do not know why court was not held for 3.5 hours today. That's what was set aside, 1 to 4:30 local time. That is sealed. There was never going to be court tomorrow. But many people were speculating that she was going to have a psychological evaluation based on suicide watch, and it would take a few days. That's apparently not the case. Dr. Horn's unavailable Monday, Tuesday. That's why it was